You tell me it's insane to be more afraid of a hurricane than a tornado?
Yeah.
Tornadoes are a surprise. Hurricanes are, hurricanes are bad and people stay, but a lot of times when it happens, they either look, they can't move, there's circumstances. They go tell them, even Katrina, they were getting everybody out. I'm not saying it tears up a whole town.
Right.
Hurricanes do way more damage. But as far as a human being dying, I mean, a tornado just could pop up on us right now. You could be right behind. Is there one right behind me right now? I mean, they give you that easy that you just
Don't look.
He's always just looking and coming. They come out of nowhere. Think about the ones at night, dude. It's at night. That one that came through Williamson County.
Yeah.
I remember we Harper's asleep. We just went in like a middle closet of the house, and we just kind of sat in there because we didn't know how long it was going to be. And I was watching. It's like 2 a.m. and it's just pitch black dark. I mean, people don't even know that you could be looking at it and you wouldn't know until you flew away. Like,
Well, you might hear it.
we hear loud
Yeah.
noise, yes,
Yeah.
but you don't know the idea of it. It's not going, here I come, chug, 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 chug. It's making little chugging noises. But you see his video is a great video Brian shot, if you even cared about it. And it's a video about wind sound. And you would see those sparks. Well, those sparks aren't heads up. The sparks is, I'm on you. I'm on top of you.
Yeah.
So that's, that you're seeing the tornado fly. Crazy.
That's fair.
So how many earthquakes do you guys think we had in Tennessee last year?
0.
7.
301.
No. What are they counting?
They have a ton of small. There's some small ones all the time. They're like East Tennessee. Like you just barely feel them.
Yeah.
Yep.
You feel them though?
In East Tennessee, like, yeah.
300. That's it. I don't know if I felt one here.
I don't think I felt one here either.
Yeah.
But so California, they keep preparing for the big one. So the last really big one they had was I guess 1994, depending on what you consider big, which caused 72 deaths. But the big one they think will hit will be 44 times stronger than that one.
That was the World Series game.
Now the World Series was 89.
Oh.
So they have a 48% chance of the big one hitting within the next 30 years on the San Andreas Fault.
And so that hits, what happens?
A major death destruction.
That's not good.
I joked that California would fall into the ocean.
Yeah.
That was from Superman 1.
That's what he said.
Well, there was a missile that went
Yeah.
to California, but they say it won't fall in the ocean, but there's going to be major destruction.
For just California.
Well, the
Would
West
we feel
Coast.
it here?
The West Coast. No. East of the
Yeah.
Rockies won't.
East of the Rockies. So we're good east of the Rockies.
Yeah.
But if you're in it, it's like all of California feels this.
Oh, yeah. All the West Coast.
Yeah. Every state, every part. And it just is like, is it one crack? Is like just going to, everything's going to fall down.
Yeah. The San Andreas Fault. They said, I mean, this is years from now. Los Angeles and San Francisco will be close to each other.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they're going to just.
But they're talking like thousands.
Right.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah. That feels like a very loose thing that can.
Well, I know.
Hey, that's again, scientists get to just go,
That's why I almost didn't tell you.
Yeah, because that's what scientists get to do. I could just go out and be like, you know what, Seattle will become San Diego and San Diego will become Seattle in 1,000 years. And you'd be like, that's crazy. He goes, yeah, I'm a scientist. I've studied this. You're like, I don't, how do you study that? Did you look it up and stuff? He's like, no, I am the lookup. What I write is the lookup.
Yeah, I'm the source.
And then how are we going to, is he going to get in trouble if that doesn't happen? Making outlandish things.
Yeah.
It's a 6-hour drive. He's gonna be right now. San Francisco to Los Angeles is a 6-hour drive. It's gonna be next to each other. When? Just long enough that you won't be alive to prove. Like that's always the 1,000 years. That means if you could never have your family. Like I would want to now. I'll tell my daughter to tell her kids to be like, don't stop this chain. And I won't be here. None of us will be here. But I want, in 1,000 years, I want a Bargatze to find that scientist's family and go, hey, guess what? It's a little bit farther away than it was.
Yeah.
This is what they think the world will look like
When?
millions of years from now.
where are we at?
This is
Oh.
North America right here, dude.
So like it's basically like we're a drain and everything's going to just float next to you. That's basically if you're listening, it would be like, well, what if the world became a drain and every country just floated on top of each other? That's what the world's going to look like.
The Penguin Ultima.
Pangaea Ultima.
These are a few different theories of what it'll look. You know,
Yeah,
100
dude, I
million
mean,
years in the future.
a child could draw that on a map. I could go get a kid and go, just draw me what you think the world looks like now. I'm going to put it on a website next to my doctor name and tell people this is what it's going to look like in 4 million years. And everybody goes, oh, man, we should listen to that guy. Right?
I don't know who made this. So, you know.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a kid drawing. Arthur.
It looks like a kid trying to draw the world.
Yeah.
You know, and it's real bad.
That's like the weather. You know, we talk about weather people. They always get yelled at, weathermen. They get yelled at because they get weather wrong.
Yeah.
But I always think, for some reason to me, I'm very lenient with that. I don't ever get mad. Like, it's like, what do you want them to do, man? People get furious, and you're like, yeah, dude. It's a good gauge.
Yeah.
You're usually going to be happy because it usually means it's supposed to rain all week and it didn't.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
But back off these weather people, man. Like, give them, they're doing what they can.
Predicting the future.
Yeah.
How about this? How about this?
I mean, dude,
this theory where all the other continents go up towards the North Pole and Antarctica stays where it is? So we all just kind of join up at the top.
Yeah, everybody's at the top. We're living on the North Pole. Africa, still going to be hot. Can you imagine they go, God, is it going to cool down a little bit? You're like, actually, you kind of probably get hotter. And you're like, what, dude? Like, I mean, everywhere else is going to be north. Like, we're going to be so cold. And Africa's like, you know what? I wouldn't hate it. That's what someone says in Africa. I wouldn't hate it. And you're like, well, I got some bad news, Madagascar, because you might not move. There's a great chance you won't move. That's what we're guessing. And that's what a scientist would sell Madagascar. He would do a speech about it.
Scientists have suggested permanently dimming the sun to save South Africa from deadly dry spells.
I mean, who is it? A drunk homeless guy that just shouts these ideas out?
Turn the sun down.
You know what we should do? Turn the sun down.
The plan involves pumping vast quantities of gas into the atmosphere above Cape Town to preserve local water supplies. Research suggests injecting particles.
So furious.
I mean, it's just...
The gas would form a huge cloud above the city that reflects sunlight, dimming the environment on the ground below. I think that's a great idea.
I mean, that's like, you know, you can't yell at us about global warming and then this is the deal. You're like, well, what's your answer for it? We're going to dim the sun or whatever it is. It doesn't make, I can't imagine shooting gases up in the air. Isn't that the main thing? That's the problem. We got too many gases in the air and they're like, I know, but they're not these gases. I mean, unbelievable. Can you imagine someone floats that idea at a science table?
That just came out.
That just came out.
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah.
That's not some drunk scientist smoking a cigarette in a lab. You know what I mean? Where doctors baby was born with a cigarette in his mouth. Like, where there was no rules.
Yeah.
That's 2020.
Wow.
That guy's in the middle of a pandemic.
Wow.
And this is what he's gotten to. You know what? What if we dim the sun? You're like, hey, why don't you not publicly let that get out that you said that? That's what someone should have said to him immediately. What'd you say? He's
Hey,
like, what
guys,
if we dim the sun?
We should just turn the sun down a little bit. Wait, what?
Oh, we're just doing a knob and just turn it down?
Install a dimmer, dude.
Johnny, get just Dr. Saddad Khan.
Johnny
Dr.
Red.
Khan, Johnny Red.
Johnny Red on it.
Who do you
man.
think did that? Let's say one of the names is Dr. Khan, the other's Johnny Red. Sounds like Johnny Red's idea. You're right. Johnny Red.
Actually, Soar Sogbay.
Sore Sogabor.
Oh, man. Sour Cigar.
Sore Sagor. Sora. Sora, go ahead. Saw your hand up. What if we dim the sun? Sora?
Save your work, Soar, and then get out of here.
Save your... Unbelievable. Save your work. Sora? Sora, don't ever say something like that ever. Right when Sora said it. What if we dim the sun? Can everybody leave except Sora? And then everybody just got up and left. And he goes, Sora, what are you doing, dude? What are you out of your mind? Dim the sun. You went to college, dude. I mean, like, what? They're teaching you stuff. They're teaching stuff. There's not a dimmer. You know how long it took us to learn to dim lights in a house?
Yeah.
And you want to dim the sun? It's not like we just figured that out. It wasn't like the light was invented, then we started dimming them. You want us to dim the sun? We don't even know. You know how big it is? It's gigantic.
Pretty big, man.
It's pretty big.
Oh, dude.
He goes, it's not that big. He's like, you against tornadoes? It's not that big. It's the least thing
Listen,
I'm
it's
worried.
big, but I'm not.
It's not, out of all the
not the
universe, the
biggest
least thing
thing,
I'm
yeah.
scared of is the sun.